Imagine standing in line at a convenience store. You buy a bottle of water, hand the cashier $1, and receive some loose change. Most people would slide those coins into their pocket or let them fall to the bottom of a bag. That's the ordinary path. But what if, unknowingly, in that tiny exchange, you received a coin worth more than $410 million? That's not just a twist of fate, it's the story of one of the rarest and most valuable nickels in United States history, the 2002 Jefferson nickel. On the surface, this coin looks like any other, small, metallic, bearing the face of Thomas Jefferson on one side and his famed Monticello home on the other. But hidden in its metallic body is a tale of mystery, history, and staggering value. The kind of story that makes you reconsider every piece of change you've ever ignored. To truly appreciate this coin's journey from common currency to a multimillion-dollar legend, we have to begin with the origins of the Jefferson nickel itself. In 1938, the United States Mint decided to replace the aging Buffalo nickel. That iconic coin had become difficult to strike properly, and its design had worn down quickly in circulation. So, a public competition was held to create a new design. The winner? Felix Schlag, whose design featuring Jefferson's profile and Monticello became the standard for the new 5-cent coin. Over the decades, the Jefferson nickel would go through changes. Wartime compositions altered its metal content, artistic redesigns gave it updated profiles, and various mint marks told stories of origin. But in 2002, the design had returned to something close to the original, Jefferson's sharp side profile and Monticello looking sturdy and timeless. That's where the story of this incredible coin begins. The Philadelphia Mint, one of the busiest mints in the nation, was producing millions of nickels per day. For most, that year was unremarkable in terms of minting. But deep within one batch of 2002 nickels, something very strange occurred. A coin was struck using an experimental planchet, a metal disc not meant for standard circulation. Its exact composition has been the subject of intense debate ever since. Some numismatic experts believe the planchet contained rare earth metals, possibly as part of an internal durability test. Others say it was a mistake, an incorrect metal blank that found its way into the nickel press by accident. A small percentage of the community even believes it was a deliberate test, an early prototype of a secure anti-counterfeiting alloy that was never meant to leave the mint. Regardless of how it happened, the result was undeniable. The 2002 Jefferson nickel struck on that special planchet looked and felt different. Its luster had a distinct glow, its weight slightly off from the standard, and the sharpness of its details unmatched by others. And still, despite all that, the coin quietly entered circulation. It traveled across registers and counters, passed from hand to hand, maybe even dropped in a wishing fountain or lost between couch cushions. Years went by. Then, a coin enthusiast, someone dedicated to the art of coin roll hunting, came across it. For those unfamiliar, coin roll hunting is a hobby in which collectors purchase rolls of coins from banks and sort through them to find rarities. It's a tedious process, sometimes involving thousands of coins, and often yields nothing more than a few older dates or odd mint marks. But for this hunter, it was a life-changing moment. The collector, whose identity remains private even today, noticed that the coin had a different feel. It weighed slightly more than a regular nickel. Its surface shone oddly, not like any other coin in the batch. Intrigued, the collector set it aside and began researching. When tests were conducted, the results were jaw-dropping. Not only was the alloy unknown in U.S. mint records for nickels, but the coin strike was flawless. It had the appearance of a proof coin, yet it had been found in a standard roll. Word spread fast. Coin grading services rushed to authenticate it. Numismatic researchers wrote articles, trying to piece together the mystery. Theories flooded in, some plausible, others bordering on conspiracy. Was it the work of a rogue mint employee? A failed security test? A government secret? Or just a once-in-a-century accident? When the coin finally went up for auction, it attracted worldwide attention. Wealthy collectors from Europe, Asia, and the Middle East joined American billionaires in the bidding war. Museums fought with private collectors. Institutions offered millions, hoping to preserve this coin as a symbol of rarity and mystery. The bidding didn't just break records, it shattered them. When the final bid echoed through the auction hall, it was official. The 2002 P. Jefferson nickel had sold for an astonishing $410 million. But what gives a coin that kind of value? To some, it seems insane that a 5-cent piece could command such a fortune. But in the world of numismatics, value isn't determined by face value. It's about rarity, history, condition, and sometimes, pure intrigue. This coin had it all. It wasn't just rare, it was unique. A true one-of-a-kind anomaly. And unlike many other valuable coins locked away in private vaults or buried in ancient treasure hoards, this one had traveled through the world. It had circulated. It had a life. Since then, the legend of the 2002 P. Jefferson nickel has only grown. It's become a myth among coin collectors, a kind of modern-day holy grail. People comb through rolls of nickels at banks, search coin jars at home, and inspect their change with renewed interest. The story has inspired documentaries, books, and even classroom discussions about the U.S. Mint and the hidden treasures of American currency. Interestingly, the coin has also sparked debates about the future of physical money. In an age where digital transactions are becoming the norm and cryptocurrencies dominate financial headlines, the 2002 nickel stands as a symbol of tangible value, a physical object that tells a story no digital token ever could. It reminds us that history is often found in the smallest, most overlooked places. That great worth can hide in plain sight. That it has also shifted how the public views the Jefferson nickel. Once seen as one of the most mundane and common coins in the American system, the series has found new life. Collectors have started to pay more attention to post-2000 issues, examining details, testing weights, and searching for minute variations. Even the mint mark, P, has taken on a new allure, a tiny character that could hint at greatness. The coin's discovery has also led to increased security at the U.S. Mint. Anonymous sources have stated that after the story broke, internal policies were revised. Experimental planchets are now logged more rigorously, and access to press equipment has been tightened. But the question still lingers: could there be more coins like it? Could another batch of experimental blanks have been minted, slipped into circulation, and gone unnoticed? No one knows for sure. But that uncertainty fuels the hunt. Every collector dreams of finding the next $1 million coin. And thanks to this one nickel, that dream feels more real than ever. The story has even permeated pop culture. Online forums buzz with theories, collectors post YouTube videos comparing nickels, and social media is filled with hopeful treasure hunters examining coins under magnifying glasses. It has become more than a coin, it's a phenomenon. So the next time you receive change, think about what might be in your hand. Think about the journey a coin has taken, and the stories it could tell. Could it be from a special minting? A rare error? A piece of history that's quietly passed through the world? The story of the 2002 P. Jefferson nickel reminds us that wonder doesn't always come in large packages. Sometimes, it's found in something as small and simple as a coin. A reminder that history, mystery, and incredible fortune can sometimes hide in your pocket. That if you've enjoyed this fascinating journey into the world of coins and hidden treasures, and you want to hear more stories like this, more rare coins, more hidden gems, and more jaw-dropping discoveries, then don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. You never know, the next legendary coin might just be waiting for you to find it. Next 2010 D. Nickels USA coins. Today in the world of coin collecting, there exists a tale so extraordinary that it continues to captivate numismatists and treasure hunters alike. Picture this: it's a typical summer morning in a quiet suburb of Pennsylvania. A young boy, no older than 10, rummages through an old box of change inherited from his late grandfather. As the coins clink together and reflect the early morning sunlight, one peculiar coin catches his eye. It's a 5-cent piece, modest in appearance, yet there's something different about it. Its edges are clean, its surface gleams with a soft luster, and the markings read 2010 PD. Little did he know, that coin would become the centerpiece of one of the most intriguing coin stories in American history. The 2010 D. Jefferson nickel might seem like an ordinary coin to the untrained eye. It was minted in Philadelphia and entered circulation alongside millions of other nickels. But what makes this particular coin so remarkable isn't just its historical relevance, design, or production, it's the incredibly rare variant that catapulted its value into the stratosphere. A variant so rare, it has been valued at an astronomical $220 million, making it one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. To understand the significance of the 2010 Jefferson nickel, we must journey back to the early 2000s. The United States Mint, in an effort to revamp and modernize its coinage, introduced a series of design changes to the nickel. The changes were meant to commemorate Thomas Jefferson and the Lewis and Clark expedition. The 2004 and 2005 nickels featured scenes from the expedition, but by 2006, the mint settled on a new obverse portrait of Jefferson, facing forward, drawn from a Rembrandt Peale painting, and a simple depiction of Monticello on the reverse. This design continued into 2010. Now, the year 2010 was nothing exceptional in terms of mint numbers. Over 260 million Jefferson nickels were minted in Philadelphia alone. With such high mintage, one would think that every coin from that year would be common and unremarkable. And for the most part, they are. However, among these millions, a microscopic error, barely noticeable to the naked eye, occurred on an extremely limited number of coins. That error involved a misalignment of the die during the minting process, which caused a faint double image on Jefferson's eye and a slightly warped depiction of Monticello. At first, no one noticed. These rare variants trickled into circulation unnoticed, passed hand to hand in gas stations, diners, and vending machines. But in 2012, a coin enthusiast spotted something odd. He noticed Jefferson's gaze seemed almost ghostly, with a double impression that gave the portrait a unique, haunting look. Upon closer inspection using advanced magnification, he discovered the double die anomaly. Not only that, but the coin's edges showed an unusual smoothness, and the metallic composition was slightly off-spec, possibly the result of a transitional planchet error. This one coin, once confirmed as genuine by top numismatic experts, was appraised at over $1 million. But the story didn't stop there. News of the discovery spread rapidly across the coin-collecting world. Forums exploded with speculation, auction houses began offering rewards for similar finds, and casual collectors started rechecking their change drawers. Over the years, only a handful of these rare 2010 Jefferson nickels with the double die and composition anomaly have been found. The scarcity, combined with the frenzy it caused, began to drive up the value of these coins dramatically. But where did the figure of $220 million come from? In 2023, a private collector, known only by the pseudonym N. Sawyer, revealed that he had acquired one of these rare nickels in a private transaction from a retired mint employee. The story he shared added a layer of mystery and conspiracy to the coin's legend. According to Sawyer, the employee had smuggled out several error coins during a routine quality control process in 2010, realizing that they were unlike anything he had ever seen. Fearing legal repercussions, he kept them hidden for years, only deciding to part with one after learning of the coin's rising fame. The transaction was shrouded in secrecy, but when Sawyer unveiled the coin at a numismatic exhibition in New York, experts were astounded. This particular specimen was not only an error coin but had a purity and weight slightly off from standard specifications. Lab tests confirmed it was struck on an experimental alloy, one not known to have been used officially at the Philadelphia Mint. The coin's uniqueness was undeniable. In a record-breaking auction later that year, the coin was sold to an international investor for a jaw-dropping $220 million. This sale broke every record in numismatic history. It wasn't just about the coin's rarity, it became a symbol of historical intrigue, manufacturing mystery, and collector obsession. The Jefferson nickel, once the quietest member of the American coin family, was now in the spotlight, revered as a once-in-a-lifetime artifact. Collectors began digging deeper. Stories surfaced of similar variants found in small towns, pawn shops, and even old parking meters. One man in Ohio reportedly found a coin with the same characteristics while fishing coins from his grandfather's piggy bank. Another woman in Georgia claimed her son received one as change from a soda machine. Every such tale added fuel to the fire, turning the 2010 Jefferson nickel into a modern-day treasure hunt. Beyond the hype, the story of the 2010 nickel serves as a testament to the enduring value of careful observation and historical curiosity. It reminds us that even in a world overflowing with digital assets and cryptocurrency, physical artifacts still hold the power to shock and inspire. A 5-cent coin, overlooked by millions, has now become an emblem of potential wealth and mystery. The coin's lore only continues to grow. Today, collectors meticulously examine every 2010 nickel they encounter, hoping for a glimmer of that elusive double die or a subtle shift in metallic sheen. Museums have begun to display replicas of the legendary coin, while educational programs use it to teach young students about minting processes, error detection, and the rich history behind America's currency. Numismatic experts believe that there may still be a few undiscovered specimens out there, lost in the shuffle of everyday commerce or tucked away in forgotten drawers. The idea that such unimaginable value could be hiding in plain sight keeps collectors motivated. It's this tantalizing possibility that ensures the legend of the 2010 Jefferson nickel remains very much alive, and so, the next time you're handed change at a checkout counter, take a moment to look closely. That humble 5-cent piece might not be so humble after all. You might just be holding the next $220 million treasure in your palm. If you found this story fascinating and want to hear more incredible tales from the world of rare coins and hidden treasures, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. You never know what history you might uncover next. Next, 1997 Jefferson Nickels USA coins. Today, did you know that a small coin tucked away in someone's drawer could be worth a staggering $210 million? It might sound unbelievable, but today we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1997 Jefferson nickel from the United States. This 5-cent piece, a coin that many Americans have held in their hands without a second thought, carries with it a legacy of value, rarity, and historical significance that few people truly understand. Let's begin with a curious discovery. A coin collector in Pennsylvania was sorting through a box of spare change inherited from a late grandfather. Among the pennies, quarters, and dimes, there it was, a 1997 Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark. Nothing appeared unusual at first glance. But upon closer inspection, something felt off. The coin had an exceptional shine, near-perfect luster, and subtle die variations that suggested it wasn't just an ordinary mint release. That single coin sparked a journey through history, metallurgy, and the hidden treasures of U.S. coinage. The 1997 Jefferson nickel was minted in Philadelphia, denoted by the P mark just next to Thomas Jefferson's portrait. At first glance, the coin follows the same design that had been in use for decades. On the obverse side, you find the familiar profile of Jefferson, America's third president and a central figure in shaping the nation's democratic ideals. The reverse side features his Virginia estate, Monticello, an enduring symbol of classical architecture and Jeffersonian vision. But what made the 1997 version extraordinary? It wasn't the highest minted year, nor did it immediately stand out in circulation. However, the real story begins behind the scenes at the U.S. Mint. In 1997, the Mint underwent several updates to its production process. Some experimental dies were tested and inadvertently released into circulation. These dies left behind minute but detectable differences, slightly bolder lettering, sharper detail on Jefferson's hair, and a reverse with almost proof-like clarity. Only a handful of these exceptional coins made it into the public's hands before the dies were replaced. One of these coins was later authenticated by top numismatic experts and graded at an astonishing MS-70, a perfect mint state. That same coin went on to make headlines when it fetched a jaw-dropping sum of $210 million at a private auction involving elite collectors and wealthy investors. The staggering value was driven by its pristine condition, unmatched rarity, and the sheer intrigue behind its release. Since then, the coin has become a legend among numismatists, symbolizing the intersection between history, economics, and chance. But let's rewind for a moment. The Jefferson Nickels series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and it was intended to celebrate one of the most intellectual founding fathers. Jefferson's ideals of liberty and democracy resonated deeply with the American spirit, and the nickel served as both a tribute and a daily reminder of those values. Throughout the decades, the nickel underwent subtle design changes, composition shifts during wartime, and even commemorative editions. Yet the 1997 P quietly sat among its siblings, waiting to be recognized that it's not just about the coin's design or condition. The economic significance of such coins lies in their impact on the collectible market. When a single 5-cent piece is valued at hundreds of millions, it transforms how we view our currency. These aren't just tools for commerce, they are artifacts of cultural importance. Collectors begin to ask questions: how many more like it exist? Was this an isolated error or part of a larger batch? What does this coin tell us about the history of minting in America? In the case of the 1997 P. Jefferson nickel, the truth may never be fully known. What we do know is that the coin has inspired a new generation of collectors. Children who once dismissed pocket change now look at their coins with a new sense of wonder. Elderly hobbyists revisit their collections, hoping they too possess one of the elusive 1997 P gems. The excitement has spread across online communities, coin shows, and even TikTok videos showcasing million-dollar nickels. The buzz around the 1997 P also sparked increased interest in Jefferson himself. A man known for his brilliant mind, he authored the Declaration of Independence, doubled the size of the United States through the Louisiana Purchase, and advocated for education and science. The coin, in many ways, brings his story back into the spotlight. Historians and educators now have a new angle to engage students, through the lens of numismatics, and let's not forget the cultural symbolism. In a world where digital transactions are becoming the norm, physical currency is often overlooked. But the story of the 1997 P. Jefferson nickel reminds us that tangible coins still carry immense value, not just economically but emotionally. These coins pass through countless hands, each with its own story. They sit in change jars, vending machines, and sometimes, just sometimes, in velvet-lined cases within high-security vaults. So how can a regular person hope to find such a treasure? The odds are slim, but not impossible. Start by examining your change carefully. Look for the 1997 P mark. Note any unusual shine or sharpness in detail. Compare it with standard coins of the same year. Consider getting a magnifying glass and a scale. Join online forums, talk to local coin dealers, and keep up with auction results. You never know, a $210 million coin might just be waiting for you in the most unexpected place. In recent years, the coin has also appeared in exhibitions and museums, often accompanied by security and fanfare. People line up for hours just to catch a glimpse. It's not just about the money, it's the chance to witness a piece of living history. Stories of lucky finds flood social media, each one reinforcing the belief that hidden gems are out there. One collector shared how he found a 1997 P nickel in an old lunchbox his father used during his job at a steel mill. Another man discovered one in a coin roll he bought from the bank for just $5. These stories are real. And they fuel the dreams of millions around the globe. As we wrap up this remarkable journey, we are reminded that sometimes the greatest treasures are hiding in plain sight. The 1997 P. Jefferson nickel is a testament to that. It's more than just a coin, it's a symbol of history, luck, and value beyond imagination. So the next time you hear the clink of coins in your pocket, take a moment to look. You might just be holding a piece of history worth more than gold. And if you enjoyed this story and want more unbelievable coin discoveries, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the next big find.